Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Simon Eddles. I'm the sales director here at Travel Bulletin. Thank you very much for joining us all for our latest webinar focused this time on the luxury market. Apparently, in 2019, the luxury market was valued at £725 billion. So it really is an absolutely massive market, which hopefully will start picking up again as soon as possible, hopefully throughout 2021. Today's webinar will run slightly differently to our previous programs in that each luxury supplier will have their own slot, delivering a 10-minute presentation, followed by a Q&A session straight after their presentation. So we will need you, agents, to be as interactive as possible as we're going through the presentation. So please, when the suppliers are doing their presentations, please send in your questions while they're going on. Obviously, some will be sort of one-word answers, some may well be a little bit more complex. The ones that give the supplier a little bit of a latitude to explain a little bit more about their products, the better, if you know what I mean. But obviously, if you have a specific inquiry, whether it be to do with a wedding or honeymoon or something that a client has brought up to you, then those are the sort of things that ideally we want to be able to answer for you while you have the person who can give the answers in front of you. Once all the presentations have taken place, we'll then have competitions and prizes with champagne, goodie bags and shopping vouchers up for grabs. So I hope you're all feeling lucky. Okay, so with your pens firmly ready, or rather your keys firmly on your keypad, ready to write in on the Q&A session, without further ado, let me introduce our first presenter. So please welcome Thomas Cochrane, the sales director of Hummingbird.
Hello. Hi.
It was bound to happen. We were both bound to speak at exactly the same time. That's always the way. Good to have you here, Tom. Are you well? Are you having it's miserable here in southwest London. I don't know what it's like with you.
It's very miserable, and I'm just looking across out my window, and some fishermen have erected a large tent, which is quite funny. They look pretty miserable, to be honest.
You sound as though you could actually be in the Maldives with fishermen erecting tents outside. No.
Yeah, it's not quite the Maldivian scene, unfortunately. They look a bit sad. They're having a cup of tea, looking at their phones. Not much fishing going on, to be honest.
Are they? Is there sort of 4 watching and 1 fishing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is. Yeah. Oh, they're smoking now.
Okay, well, this is the way of the world. I will not say anything contentious, so I shall move on. It's great to have you here. Are you ready to share your news with us, Tom?
Yes, I am. Yeah, it's good news as well.
Fantastic. I will leave you to it. We'll chat again afterwards. So please, Tom, go ahead with your 10-minute presentation. Thank you.
Okay, cool. I'm going to share my screen. So that should come up, put it on the slideshow. Yeah, hi everyone. Thomas from Hummingbird. Hummingbird are a Indian Ocean specialist DMC, and we specialize in 4 key destinations, and that is the Maldives, Mauritius, Seychelles, and Sri Lanka. And today I was really going to focus on the Maldives because of the good news, and the Maldives has now joined the Seychelles as being on the UK travel corridor, and I believe we've got a lovely Seychelles presentation coming up shortly, so that should cover that side of it. But as Hummingbird, we are Indian Ocean specialists. We're a DMC. We're on the ground. We're based in the destinations that we sell. So we're in the Maldives, we're in the Seychelles, and we do the meet and greet service when your clients arrive. We negotiate really good rates from the hotels, and we package it all up for you. So we're a one-stop shop. We do everything. Hopefully we'll make it as easy as possible for you to sell these destinations as possible. So if you don't really know the Maldives or the Seychelles all that well, hopefully you can draw on our wealth of knowledge and experience in the destination. We've been in the Indian Ocean for about 30 years now, so we know it pretty well. And yeah, we can help you convert bookings. That's really what we're there for, by giving you those good rates, that good knowledge, and the technology, that expertise. So if you're going to work with us, we'll set you up as with an account manager, someone who kind of, if you speak to on a regular basis, you get to know. And we do have a luxury division, so we dedicate quite a lot of time looking after very high-end clients with high net worth individuals who are quite demanding, staying at very boutique type resorts. So we do that. So it's a one-to-one service. It's all tailor-made itineraries. We do things a little bit outside the box as well. So if you wanted to do a treasure hunt in the Seychelles, a bit of island hopping, or a treasure hunt in Maldives, going to sandbanks and following treasure maps and fun events, maybe ending with like some fire dancers, a band playing, that kind of stuff. We've organized all that in the past for people's parties. Anything is possible. But yeah, there's a lot of properties, say for example in the Maldives, 150 resorts, and it's quite hard to get your head around all the different products. So we can help with that. We're not affiliated with any particular property. We can sell whatever we want. So we give you our impartial, honest advice. And along with that, we also have an online booking engine. So if you're interested, we can send you a login and you can access our rates and availability instantly online. That's for Maldives and for Seychelles. But yeah, onto the Maldives. The good news is it's been added to the UK travel corridor. So what that means, along with the Seychelles, is you can travel from the UK directly to Maldives or UK directly to Seychelles. And when you come home, you don't have to quarantine for 14 nights. So it's one of the few places in the world you can actually do that at the moment, which is great for us and has meant we've suddenly, since it was announced on Thursday night, we've been pretty inundated with requests and bookings. So it definitely seems to be an area where everyone is sort of focused on right now. So it's quite a good time to be speaking about it in a bit more detail. So how it's going to work is when your client wants to go to the Maldives, or yourself, you want to go to the Maldives, you book a holiday in the Maldives. Before you travel, you've got to fill out a health declaration form, just so you don't have COVID, but you also have to take a PCR test, and you probably have to do that privately. And that's got to be done within 96 hours of your departure flight. So you've got to take the test, get your negative result within 96 hours of your departure. And you upload that negative test result onto the online form, and you travel to the Maldives, and it's pretty much standard procedure. If you're flying direct, that means you don't have to quarantine, so because it's on that travel corridor. But if you're going via a country, then you would still have to quarantine, because you would have gone, unless it's a country on the travel corridor. If you're going via a country, transiting in a country that is not on that travel corridor, you would have to quarantine on your way back. But otherwise, yeah, it's no quarantine required. So I just put the little link in there if you want to note it down, but we'll share it with you afterwards. But it's IMO Immigration is, you click on that link and then you can fill out your health declaration form. But yeah, you'll need that PCR test, and you can travel freely to the Maldives. On entry, there's really no other requirements. You get a 30-day visa on arrival, and you can hopefully get on and enjoy your holiday. Once you pass through immigration through the airport, it's a fairly standard procedure, and you go onto your speedboat, domestic flight, or seaplane transfer and carry on to the resort and have a really nice holiday. The Maldives is an ideal destination to have a relaxing, really nice break. Perfect place to do social distancing. You can have in-villa dining or open-air dining, dinners on the beach, barbecues. It really does lend itself quite well to being sort of socially distanced and just having good quality time with on a honeymoon or with a family. And particularly, it's very, very popular at the moment with Christmas and festive. We're getting a lot of festive inquiries for families who maybe are a bit worried there's going to be restrictions at Christmas in the UK. Worth considering maybe the Maldives, where there are no such restrictions, and you can have some good quality family time in a beautiful tropical island somewhere. So just to give you an example of some of the product we sell everything in the Maldives, but as a good, I picked out a pretty good value one. It's one of the villa hotels. It's called Sun Island, and it's in the Bar Atoll, which is famous for its manta rays and its whale sharks. It's got a a special place, special biosphere called the Hanafaru Bay, which is a marine protected biosphere, and it's a place where manta rays come and congregate and they feed on plankton. Particularly from May to October, it's a really good time to go. But actually year round, you can see up to 30, 40 manta rays feeding on plankton in this small bay. So it's a great place. You can get a permit from Sun Island, go there, snorkel, and it's one of the best experiences I think you can have in the Maldives. But Sun Island, it's a really good 4-star, all-inclusive, eco-friendly, big island, lots of dining options to choose between. You get bicycles to cycle around it, lovely beach, loads of marine life. And yeah, a variety of different villas, starting from some fairly basic lead-in, some villas that are very affordable. I mean, I think right now you could go for just over $1,500 for a 7-night stay on half board. If you wanted to go all-inclusive, it's just over $2,000 in the lead-in room type. And yeah, you can see it's a big island. It's got a little bit of pitch and putt golf, an array of bars and restaurants. So this is the lead, and this is the Sun Villa. It's got a garden view, so it's set back a bit further from the beach. That's why it's a bit cheaper. And then you go up to something directly on the beach, like the standard beach bungalow. Good for couples or for families. You've got the superior beach bungalows, right, direct access on the beach, as you can see from that picture there. Sunset villas, they get the sunset, which is always nice. In the Maldives, you can't really beat a sunset. And then this new villa type, which is called the beach pool villa. So you've got your own private pool in your room. Again, ideal if people are a bit worried about COVID at the moment, to have your own private pool. And then, of course, the sea right there as well. You're a bit spoiled, but it's actually an affordable villa. Maldives, sometimes having a beach villa with your own private pool comes at a bit of a premium, but at Sun Island, beach pool villa with private pool, if you were to travel this month, you could stay on all-inclusive 7 nights, 2 people for about just under $3,000 total. So to have your own private pool is not bad. So yeah, that's oh, and of course the water bungalows, which are also quite affordable. So that kind of classic Maldives, having the steps leading directly into the lagoon over water, also a good value. Lots of dining options. So you know, throughout the week you can dine in a different restaurant, whether it's Thai, Maldivian, European, Asian foods. They've got everything, so you're pretty well covered for all different types. And of course they got the spa and loads of water sports, outdoor activities, jet skis, excursions. See the mantas and stingrays like I mentioned earlier with the Hanafaru Bay. So covers all the bases. And yeah, if you are interested in the Maldives, I would just suggest get in touch with the team. Our number is there. You can also email reservations at hummingbird.travel or contact myself at Thomas at Hummingbird Travel, and we would be more than happy to help you hopefully convert those Maldives inquiries, because there are quite a lot coming in at the moment. And the same goes for, of course, for Seychelles as well. So that's a kind of little summary on us and what we do, and yeah, happy to answer any questions.
Right. I need to come back, Hannah. I'm here, so can you bring me back? I'm waiting, Tom. I've got things for you. I'm just waiting to appear on screen. Okay. Okay, I can't see myself, so if you, I'm here. I've been told. Well, that's good. Excellent. Yeah. Right. Okay. Good. I'm pleased about that. It's very disconcerting when you say I am, but I'm not, as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, apologies for that, guys. Technical side at our end. Apparently, I'm getting messages that everyone can see me, so that's good. Okay, Tom, I've got a couple of questions. I've got one straight off. I don't know why someone would necessarily want to not go to you direct, but if they did. They're asking, Liz King is asking, which UK tour operators is it sort of, do you sign up through, if you sort of mean, do you sell through?
Oh yeah, so we being a DMC, we work with quite a few. So I mean, all the big guys like Best at Travel, Destinology, Travel Counselors, yeah, pretty much everyone that in some way, shape or form will book through us, or they might have a few direct contracts and use us for certain products. So we do work with a lot of different tour operators, but we also work with the agents. So if you wanted to come to us directly, then we can also work that way as well.
Okay, another one I've had again from Liz. We'll stay with Liz for a second. She's asked, do the Sun Villas connect? She just had a quote for a family and wanted to know if any of the units, if you can connect 2 of them up.
To get the door in between, yeah, there is a limited number of interconnecting, yes.
Okay, so it is possible. Good. Okay, thank you. Another one from Adrian Doyle, who's asked, do you have an agent's Facebook page?
We do, yeah, we do have a Facebook page, Hummingbird Travel. Look us up on Facebook. We're there on Facebook, on Instagram, and yeah, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and what is, from your point of view, this is going to be a little bit personal. I'm guessing you're going to say all year round, but is there a best time of year to go to the Maldives?
Yeah, so
sorry, this was from Michael Atkinson. I do apologise. I want to get Michael's name in there. He was, people should have their names if we know them. Sorry, Tom. Carry on.
No worries. Yeah, I mean, Maldives is a year-round destination, but the busiest peak season, most expensive rates runs from January to April. From Christmas until April. That's the peak time. That's when you're going to be paying the most money to go to the Maldives, and it is technically the hottest time of the year. But throughout the year, it's about 28, 29 Celsius. It's humid, and rainfall is pretty sporadic. You can get a slight higher chance of rainfall as the seasons change from maybe end of May to beginning of June and end of September to beginning of October. That's kind of a slightly unsettled period. But apart from that, I think May to October is a really good time to go. Rates are about half the price. And if you're interested in seeing whale sharks, in surfing, and seeing like larger numbers of manta rays, May to October is actually the best time to go.
Okay, fantastic. I think that's a very full answer. Thank you very much. I've got another one here from, apologies if I get this wrong in terms of pronunciation, but from Jugal Cantelia. If they book, or the agent books direct with you, are the clients fully atoll protected?
Yes, they are. Yeah, so we package it up with flights, and we have an atoll license.
Okay, so that was very good. Okay, so I've got another. Tracy Milligan is asking, and I'm guessing this is really not an issue. She's asking, can she get a copy of your presentation, please?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay,
no
so
problem.
that's fine. We'll. I'm sure you can deal with that after the event. I've got another couple of questions before we wrap up, Tom, as well. Best flight options in terms of the Maldives. I know you've covered the sort of COVID side of things, but yeah, is there from your experience and from what you can see moving forward in the current climate, what are the best ways of getting there?
Yeah, so direct flights are the BA flights at the moment, and I do appreciate that they are slightly in demand, limited numbers, and quite growing in price because of the heavy demand. But, so otherwise, traditionally people would have flown Emirates and gone via Dubai or Qatar via Doha. We have found that another possible option would be to go via Germany, via Frankfurt, and Lufthansa are offering quite good value rates, cheaper than BA. So if BA is proving too expensive or hard to come by, maybe consider going via Frankfurt, via Germany, because Germany is also on the travel corridor. Okay,
and the connecting times are not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay. From your point of view as well, I know you may well have covered this because you explained that you're atoll bonded and everything, but in terms of the, what is the benefit, should we say, of booking direct with you rather than direct with the resort?
Well, I think the main benefit is you'll get better rates with us, so you'll be able to make a bit more money on the booking, and you also get that support. You have someone in the UK you can speak to, call, ask questions to, and not have to wait maybe a week for a reply. So those are probably the two main ones.
Okay, I've got a question here from Carol Daly, and she's asking, can you quote on winter 2022 yet?
Yes, I mean, we don't have contracted rates yet, but we can get one-off quotes from the hotels. They'll probably tell us to honor, they'll honor the 21 rates for 22.
Okay, which at the sort of present is good, presumably.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. And another one from Michael as well, who's obviously keen as mustard on the Maldives. He's asking, are the north or south atolls which are sort of your more favoured, should we say?
It's a good question. The far south is more remote and really only reachable by domestic flights, a bit too far for a seaplane to travel to. So that does put certain people off because they don't want to get on a domestic flight. It's just a slightly longer transfer time. The advantage, though, is the south does have the best quality coral. It's the least affected by coral bleaching. So you get the most colour in the south. So yeah, South Ari Atoll in particular is very nice, good for whale sharks. But then again, you've got the north, the Bar Atoll I mentioned earlier has the Hanafaru Bay, so that's also pretty good. That's a seaplane. So depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for the best coral, go south. If you're looking for the mantas, go north.
I think we need to introduce some sort of fence in the Maldives, because you've firmly sat on it there, Tom. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
yeah, that's great. Well, I tell you what, thank you ever so much for writing in. I know that, for instance, Hugo has actually written another one, but we'll pass that on to you, because I'm going to have to wrap up there, because I need to move on. Thank you so much, Tom, for your sort of answers, and thank you for running through your presentation, and really good. That was fantastic. So if you don't mind, we can finish off with you telling us what your competition prize is, and also asking your competition question.
Okay, cool. Yes, so my competition prize is a bottle of champagne served on the resort, so a little taste of the Maldives. And the question is, what is the name of the newest room type at Sun Island?
Okay, just going to run through that again. The prize is a bottle of champagne, as Tom says, served on the resort. Now, what he means by that is that you don't get to travel to get it served to you on resort, but it's the champagne they do serve on resort.
Yeah.
And what is the name of the newest room types added to the Sun Island is the question. So you're going to go to our Travel Bulletin website to answer these. So do go to the website, and you can answer the question. It's all on travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. So do that. I'm going to ask you to unshare, Tom, now, and wave goodbye to everyone.
Okay.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you very much.
See you soon. Okay, guys, everyone stay with me, because I'm still here. Thomas is unsharing, and I'm now hoping that we have Karen. So can we have Karen on? Do we have Karen?
Yes. Hi.
We do have Karen. Hello, Karen.
Yes. I'm here.
She's here. Karen is here. The delights of this technology business is it's enough to make my grey hair go more grey by the second. But yeah, so the whole business of me disappearing and then not reappearing, I wasn't aware of that. So apologies for everyone on my lack of professionalism there. But Karen, you are with us now. So how are you today? Are you having a good day?
Yes, I'm great. Having a good day. Not the best weather, but you know.
So we're all joining in the miserable rainy weather.
Exactly.
Okay, fantastic. So are you now ready to share with us all your news from the sunny Seychelles?
Yes, I am really happy to do so. So,
okay.
So hello everyone, welcome. I'm Karen from the Seychelles Tourism Board. So one second. You see, all right, perfect. So I will today I will tell you all about my little islands in the Seychelles. One second, I'm seeing how this works. Okay, perfect. So Tom was able to tell you how you can book the Seychelles. So that's already very easy. That part is done. But now I would go through and tell you all a little bit about the islands. So perfect. I'm getting a little bit of sharing issues. One second. Okay, there we go. So this is us. Seychelles is just located north of Madagascar on the east coast of Africa. So we are about 4 to 10 degrees south of the equator in the Indian Ocean. We are an archipelago, so altogether we have 115 islands, loads of tiny islands scattered over a wide area of ocean. But you do have the inner island group where all the action is happening and where all the visitors would go during their trip. We have two types of islands in the Seychelles, the granitic islands that you see here. They are the islands with the mountains, forests, nature reserve, and the granitic boulders. But we also have flat little coral atolls similar to the Maldives. And what is great is you can visit both destinations, both types of islands, and have very different experiences. So this is the inner island group where all the action is happening. So all the visitors would land here, and you would have the three main islands, Mahe, Pral, and Digue. The first thing I must stress about when visiting the Seychelles or when you're booking clients to the Seychelles, it is very much an island hopping destination. So it's a shame to go there and just stay on one island. Each island is unique, it's different, it's easily accessible by a helicopter, domestic flights and ferries. So even in 10 nights, you can easily do 2 or 3 islands. So this is the main island of Mahe, where most of the people are living. It is home to the international airport, so all your flights would land here on Mahe, and also home to our little capital, Victoria. It is known to be one of the smallest capitals in the world, so you can actually walk around in 15 minutes and discover the whole little town. It's the cultural hub of the Seychelles. It's really neat there, visit the tropical market, buy souvenirs and spices, go to the galleries and museums. So there's a lot to do, and it's a must when you're on the island. Outside of the Victoria, you do have some great attractions, botanical gardens, spice gardens, but one of the main ones is the Colonial House that you see at the top. And this is a distillery where we make our local macaron. So you can go there, see how they make the rum with the sugarcane, and of course, do some rum tasting. As all of you know, Seychelles is known for our beaches, but again, it's long, crowded, deserted beaches where you'll be practically on your own by the whole day. So you get your own little private beach. The island is surrounded by 3 marine parks, so excellent snorkeling, and you can easily do that on your own from the beach and go and discover the underwater world. Another thing that people don't realize about the Seychelles is it is completely green all year round, mountains, forests, and nature reserve. So just on Mahe, you have 12 different trails going up into the mountains to discover the endemic flora and fauna. So then from Mahe, you move down to Praia easily. Small domestic flight is 15 minutes and the fast ferry boat is 1 hour. Praia is very special because it is the home of one of our UNESCO sites, which is the Vallée de Mai. And the Vallée de Mai is a tropical rainforest, and it is a home to our famous coco de mer. The coco de mer is unique to the Vallée de Mai, and it is the largest and heaviest nut in the world. It can grow up to an average of 30 kilograms. So, and it's also home to the black parrot, an endemic bird only found here in the Seychelles. So this is a must visit when you're on the island of Praia. Praia has beautiful beaches you can visit, but what is great is that it's got little satellite islands all around, and you can do this as day excursions. This is Anse-Lazieux, one of our most beautiful and popular beaches on the island. There's many more as well. Cousin is a bird nature reserve for bird lovers. You can go and visit. Arid is a nature reserve. It's also stunning. Curious is one of the islands where we have our giant land tortoises. You will find them all over in the Seychelles, but here it's their home. You can go and you can visit them throughout the day. From Praia, then you move down to La Digue. La Digue is very different. So if you go to the Seychelles and miss La Digue, you have really missed something. It is typical, it is traditional, it is almost feels like going back in time. The main mode of transportation on the island is bicycles, so visitors and locals, that's the only way to get around. It is home to one of our most stunning beaches, known to be one of the most photographed beaches in the world. So with the granitic boulders, it is stunning. We have other beaches on the other side, and again, most of the time, 10 to 15 people on the beach. We do have the other granitic islands, and these are one island, one resort concept, and this is perfect for your luxury getaway. So most of them, the famous ones like Fregat North, you have your private villas, private pools, and it is excellent to combine with Mahe and Praia. 2 of our little coralline islands are very accessible from Mahe, just north of Mahe, so about 30 to 40 minutes flight. And one of them has a very special guest, and his name is Esmeralda, and he lives on Bird Island. And Esmeralda is actually one of the oldest giant tortoises in the world, and he's nearly 200 years old. When you move further out of the Seychelles, we have our outer islands, but most of these islands are uninhabited. And only 2 of them have a resort, which is Alphonse and De Roche. And out there, it's very much a modern Robinson Crusoe experience, amazing diving, fishing, snorkeling, and a completely untouched marine underwater world. But it's also the place where you will get some of the best fly fishing in the world. So it is world-class fly fishing. So just to move on, Seychelles, it's a very small population of people, of about 97,000 people, blend of people from Africa, Europe, and Asia, and everybody speaks 3 languages, including English, which is one of the official languages. So when can you go to the Seychelles? And it is an all year round destination. So we are outside of the cyclone belt. and we have this perfect tropical climate throughout the year. However, if you want to choose some of the best months to travel, then March, April, May, September, October, November is the best of the best. And during December to February, we do get a little bit more tropical showers. So you can expect some more frequent showers during this time. But temperature ranges from 26 to 32 degrees all year round. So it's perfect. In terms of accommodation, we do have the best of the best. Ranging from beautiful locations. For example, this is the Four Seasons on the perfect beaches. But we do have a little bit of something for everybody, ranging from your little bungalows and chalets and self-caterings and maisons. But for the luxury travel, we do have some of the best. In terms of the nature, this is something very, very important for us. We have so many projects and how would you call it, ecotourism sites to visit. About 1,000 species of endemic flora and fauna, from our little green geckos to the tiny frogs and our sea turtles. You are very lucky, you can get to see them coming on the beach to lay their eggs during the nesting season. But when you go diving and snorkeling, you will definitely see them. We also have another UNESCO site, which is Aldabra. And Aldabra is actually one of the islands furthest away from Mahe, closer to the continent of Africa. And it is a very much protected nature and has a very much protected ecosystem. So what to do when you get to the Seychelles? Sailing and cruising is ideal. It's actually one of the best ways to discover the islands. Day cruises, 5 nights, 7 nights cruises. Snorkeling, the water temperature is about 30 degrees, diving as well. Best visibility will be September, October, November. But we do have this amazing underwater world to discover. You can do diving of all the islands, but the best of the best would be on the outer islands as well. Fishing is spectacular, big game fishing, deep sea fishing, and of course the fly fishing, which I mentioned out on the atolls and on the sandbanks, very, very well known. We do have an 18-hole golf course, so for golf lovers, we have a really great course on the island of Prala. Wellness and spa, which is very popular, and what Seychelles has always been known for as the island of love. Very, very romantic. You can get married. It is a legal wedding. You get your certificate, and it is recognized in the UK and internationally, and you can have your civil and religious wedding as well. So you are really spot for choice in terms of locations to get married and wherever you want. So some basic essentials, not a big time difference, so you don't get that jet lag, 24 hours in the winter, no visa needed, no vaccinations needed. To move around on the island itself is quite easy. You can rent a car, you can take taxis, and on La Digue, like I mentioned, is bicycles. Just to wrap up, some of the unique selling points of the Seychelles, we are very proud to say that we still remain one of the most pristine, uncommercialized destinations today. No overdevelopment, no mass tourism. We still have that exclusivity. Immense diversity and variety as well, from people to culture to food. So it's got a lot to see and a lot to do. The endemic flora and fauna, for nature lovers, it is indeed a paradise. The long kilometers of deserted beaches, so you practically get your little beach and you can explore on your own, and the perfect climate as well. The people are very friendly. They make you feel at home. They make you feel like one of the locals as well. It is still a very safe destination, and you can move around on your own. You can go discover the flora and fauna, but no tropical diseases, no dangerous plant animals. So even if you see the little insects and everything, nothing to worry about. And again, no tropical diseases, so no yellow fever and malaria as well. And you do get that sort of authentic travel experience when you get to the Seychelles. So it is very family friendly, great for kids as well. So last to finish, we do have an online training program. So you can go on there, you can learn more about the destination and become a Seychelles expert. So thank you very much. If you have a question, especially about the entry requirements nowadays, Seychelles is open for UK visitors. So if you want to know more about that, please send your questions to Simon. Thank you very much.
Fantastic, Karen. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Again, I'm in this weird position where I can't see myself, so I don't know if all my head is on the screen or just part of it, but I'll take it that it looks okay. So we're going to go ahead straight away because I've got so many questions for you.
Oh, okay. That's a good sign. But yeah.
It is a good sign. Yeah, I think everyone wants to go to the Seychelles, which is good.
Oh, definitely. It is.
If you're still watching, Tom, that doesn't mean people don't want to go with Hummingbird to somewhere else, or like the Maldives either.
Hummingbird to the Seychelles.
Okay, so I'm going to start in a sort of reverse order with some of the questions I've got, only because it's the way I've got them in front of me and written them down. So I've got Sandra Louise Lambert, which is a really good question, I think. In terms of the sort of people who she's got a number of couples that are clients, and quite a few of them, she says, are not necessarily sort of they don't want to spend nothing, but they're on more of a budget. Can you recommend a way to doing the Seychelles, or can it be done on a budget?
Yes, definitely. Seychelles can, of course, be done on a budget. Like I mentioned, we do have these beautiful little properties, self-catering, little guest house, apartments, maisons, and all of these are on the 3 main islands. Firstly, they are affordable. So, you know, you're not going to be paying a ridiculous amount for the accommodation. They are on the 3 islands, so you can move around. So let's say they're going for 10 nights, they can still get a beautiful little guest house or a beautiful little hotel on Mahe and on Prala as well. What is great is that it's run by local families, so you really get the authentic experience, very different from what you can get in a resort. The restaurants are very affordable outside of the hotels. They can buy everything from the local shops, which again, very affordable compared to prices in the hotel. You can have your typical Creole buffets in the local restaurants where everybody will go. So definitely it is possible, and it is possible to have a much more affordable vacation than most people would do. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I've got another one which is sort of linked almost from Nicholas Horn. So he's asked if you're not doing sort of the all-inclusive thing, i.e. if you're doing a bed and breakfast type arrangement somewhere, how easy is shopping for your other goods?
Yes, definitely. Firstly, what you mentioned, we don't have all inclusive in the Seychelles. So that's first thing. We would go on bed and breakfast or half board. So basically those on bed and breakfast is very easy, as these little properties are in the villages. So in each village, you will have a supermarket, shops, you can walk down the road and you can do your shopping. Obviously, it's not Sainsbury's and Tesco, it's smaller, less limited. less options than we would have here, but you will get everything you need from the local bakeries to the market to your fresh vegetables and fruit. And sometimes you don't have to buy because you can pick bananas and mangoes in your garden. So definitely that is not a problem to shop and get all your stuff. And also in some evenings, if you want, go into local restaurants and have a dinner or a lunch as well.
Okay, we're gonna get personal now. So it's for you to make your mind up, Karen, on what is your favorite. So Michael Atkinson's asked a best beach. So name us a best beach, but also before you do, think about the cocktail, your favorite cocktail that you're going to have on that beach. So best beach, but sipping what cocktail?
What cocktail? Best beach. Wow, that is tough. Okay, if I was on La Digue, I would say it's en Sousse d'Argent, because it is calm to swim. You have the reef, you can go as far out and you can stay here, and the fish actually come right up to the shore. And on that beach, definitely it would be the Takamaka rum cocktail with maybe pineapple juice. So that's perfect. On Mahe would be, I love Beauvalon because it is the main beach of the Seychelles, because there is a lot of restaurants and there's a lot of, it would be more the more touristic part, a lot of restaurants and a lot of we have little bungalows where people are selling local food. So it's interactive and you can go and buy some banana chips and head to the beach, or a jungle juice and head to the beach. So Beauvalon, even if there's more people, is still one of my favorites. But in the south, I would say probably the beach at Four Seasons is second to none, I would say.
Okay, awesome. I've got a statement from someone rather than a question, which you're going to like. I know you're going to like, so I'm going to say it anyway. Yes. So Grazia sent a statement in rather than a question, just to say these places look amazing. So about your presentation. So I thought you'd like that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And so, it's not photoshopped. It's not photoshopped.
unlike what we're doing now. So right. So what we've got is another one from Paul Barber, who asked, which I think is a really good question. He's asked, what are the sort of flight costs for getting around the inner islands?
Okay, so you have a small domestic flight and it's 50 minutes and it would cost about $60 one way. As you can imagine, it's the only way to get around, and you would have flights throughout the day. So the price varies, just like the trains here. So you will get some cheaper tickets and some more expensive tickets on the more peak hours. So I would say about $60 one way to Prague. The boat is actually about $55. So it's not that big of a difference. The boat is 1 hour. That is one way. Prague to La Digue is cheaper. It's only 15 minutes. It's about 13 euros one way. Sorry, I should have converted all of this in my head to pounds, but you get the overall idea. So about $55 Mahe Prague and 13 to La Digue. To the resorts, that is booked with hotels. So that comes directly with your package, and they tell you your flight and your accommodation.
But it's a good question, because I would imagine if you're going to somewhere as diverse within the Seychelles as there is, then it's well worth the idea of taking a view and the culture and different islands, isn't it?
Yes, island hopping is the must. I find it's such a shame to just stay in one place. Yeah.
I'd agree with you. That brings me to, again, a one-word answer, I'm sure, but it links very nicely with something we've just discussed, and that's Lorraine Angel has asked, what is the currency in the Maldives? Sorry, in the Seychelles. I do apologize. Seychelles rupees, and it's about 22 rupees to £1. And is that something that's necessary to have, or do people sort of use dollars, or what is the sort of
no, so basically when you land, you can change your pounds into rupees, so you don't need to change into other currencies, just to rupees. And that is mainly for local things, like let's say the people who want to go to the shop, to the local market, to pay even the taxis and the souvenirs and stuff like that. You can all pay in rupees, but of course you can use the card as well. So locally it's best to have rupees, but the only thing is you can only change it in the Seychelles. So that's
okay. One more thing. I want to get through two more questions if I can, very quickly.
Yeah, sure.
Helen Tustin has asked, with regards to transfers and obviously the situation with COVID we have at the moment, how is that affected, or isn't it affected in terms of sort of COVID?
Okay, so basically in terms of, are you meaning group transfers?
Well, I'm guessing that I don't know, because I don't want to get into sort of asking her to repost, but I'm guessing it may be because you're arriving in one place and you're then going to a different island.
Yes.
So effectively you're sort of stopping effectively.
Yes, exactly. So in terms of transfers in between the islands, this has not been affected. The only thing they tell you is it is mandatory to wear a mask on the boats and on the domestic flights. So that's the only thing mandatory. And obviously it is now limited in terms of amount of people, and they've adjusted the timings a little bit, but no, it has not been affected. And on land as well, you can still take a taxi. You can still go in your group transfers. Let's say if it's organized by Hummingbird and their local DMC, you can still do that, but it's also just masks that needs to be worn.
Okay, awesome. I've just got the one last question is from Jugal Cantelia again. What is the best combination that you would give in terms of 2 islands for guests staying sort of 10 or 12 nights?
Okay, ideally I would say Mahe Prague. So as soon as you land, you go straight to Prague, as the domestic airport is right next to international. So you get all your traveling done in one day. You stay on Prague, let's say 5 nights. When you're on Prague, you must do the day trip to La Digue. So 15 minutes, you take a day out of your 5 nights on Prague, you go to La Digue and you come back in the evening. So La Digue is ticked off your list. Then you come back and you do your last couple of nights on Mahe. Also, this is important because the BA flight is in the morning. So it's best to be on Mahe or on your last few days. So you start with Prague and you end with Mahe. I think that is perfect.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much, Karen. That was wonderful. You reel off your answers as though you've got them all written down in front of you, which I assure everyone she hasn't.
I haven't. No, I haven't.
So that's really, really good. If I can now ask you to finish off with letting us know what your competition prize is. To recap, everyone, before Karen lets us know, the competition is enterable via the Travel Bulletin website. So it's travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. And if I'm not clear enough, which I know I speak very quickly, so apologies for that, then when we leave this webcast, we'll have our competition details up as the final screen. So all you have to do is stay to the end, which is no hardship listening to everyone who's so wonderful. So, so Karen, finally, if you can do, then tell us your competition prize and the question which enables winning it.
Okay, perfect. So my prize will be a nice little goodie bag with the Seychelles goodies, and one of them is the Seychelles Takamaka rum. So then you can do your own cocktails, like I mentioned, and in there we'll have some spices and candles. So it's a nice little Seychelles goodie bag. And the question is, what is the name of the island? Yes, what is the name of the island where the famous tortoise Esmeralda is found and lives? That is my question. What is the name of the island where Esmeralda is living at the moment?
That's fantastic. I love that because it's a sort of, there's a sort of French link to that as well, which we won't go down. But anyway, thank you ever so much for that. Thank you, to all of you for listening so carefully as well. Thank you for all your questions. We are now going to move on to our final presentation for today. So I'd like to welcome Caroline, please. Hello, Caroline. Caroline, you need to turn on your sound there we go. She's there. Caroline, how are you?
How are you doing? Yeah, very good, thank you. Last but not least.
No, absolutely, very much. No, I tell you guys, if you haven't seen Caroline's presentation before, you are going to love some of the imagery here. If you think whilst the Seychelles and the Maldives look stunning in a different way, these images will knock you sideways. So have you had a good day so far, Caroline?
Yeah, very good, very busy, which is
Have
good.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and please tell us the weather is better where you are.
No, unfortunately not. I'm down on the south coast, and it's raining in all different directions. You can't even have an umbrella.
We did a showcase event in Brighton a few years back where I couldn't even open the door for the hotel to get in. So the wind was blowing that strongly. So I share your pain at this point. We will crack on. So Caroline is now going to start her presentation on Finland. Please take it away, Caroline.
Thank you. I'm going to actually start with a movie. I feel like we do need a movie right now, and then I'll go straight into my presentation.
Kun mä sylis nukahdin, kaiken muun unohdin. Vaikka unelmiin katoisin, näen kaiken kirkkaammin. Miten kotiin kaipasin, juoksen nopein askelin. Kaiken ajan jälkeenkin sylis jään kuitenkin.
Okay, that's a little video to warm us up. So I'm going to go straight into our presentation now. So yeah, we call Finland, it's quite a bucket destination. And it's only 3 hours away, so it's actually 2.5 hours in the sky. We have got Sweden to the eastern side, and then we've got Russia and also Norway, and it's only 2 hours from Tallinn, Estonia, by boat. So it's pretty easy to get to Finland. Now, most direct flights start from November to March. And most fly into Rovaniemi, Ilas for Saariselkä, Ivalo, and Kittilä Airport, obviously, for Levi. Finnair are One World BA, twinned with BA, and that's our airline partner. So we recommend if you're flying to Helsinki, you can fly onwards to Lapland as well. And they're pretty good. They've been flying all throughout lockdown, and they do fly twice a day from Heathrow. And also at the moment there is a fly and book with confidence with Finnair, so it's no hassle booking. And obviously if you've got those luxury customers, they might want to try Finnair's new business class. So whenever you go onto the plane, it's all about Nordic design and nice Nordic, fresh, locally sourced food. COVID safe travel at the moment, you can go to Finland, that's the good news, from the 23rd of November. But you must stay, if you're staying 72 hours or under, you must have a PCR test from the UK and provide the certificate at the border control on arrival. They are talking already about travel over 72 hours, whether a second test is going to be decided or not. I don't have the official information yet, but would of course, we'll update everything on visitfinland.com so you can follow that. Now, we do have some exclusive private jets coming to Finland through Luxury Action and Octola, our 5-star resort in Rovaniemi. And that includes your testing, private jets, all inclusive in the wilderness, all your huskies and snowmobiling, everything else as well included. So Finland's a great place. It's got this incredible flora and fauna. We have over 70% of forest, 188,000 lakes, and can you believe it? 3 million saunas. There's more saunas than there is cars. And it's a great country. You've got Lapland in the north, which is our #1 destination for the Brits. And then towards the east to the Russian border, we've got the Lakeland, where you can see all of those lakes. And then Helsinki, which is the capital city. That's a great destination. And then sort of on the west coast, we've got the archipelago. So I'll go through each one of those. So Finnish Lapland, this is where it's all happening. And you can visit all year round. So I'll start with the spring. This is what spring looks like. It's still a lot of snow in April. We actually had snow in May this year, and there were lots of people in their swimwear skiing. Wouldn't suggest doing that, but you can see absolutely it's a nice time to go. It's also a time when the bears come out. They come out from hibernation, so that's a nice cute picture of our bears, which are all along the eastern side of Finland, from Lapland down to Lakeland. And this is the midnight sun. So the sun doesn't set between June and July, and you can just spend long days hiking, maybe doing some whitewater rafting. That's very, very popular at Oulanka Park in Lukakusmo. Or you can do some berry picking, mushroom picking. It's actually, you can pick anything free from the forest. Finland has an every man's right to do that. And then autumn, we've just had autumn. It's probably the shortest month, but it's a beautiful month. It's where you've got the fall colours, but also it's when the Northern Lights start. So they start from around the end of August and they finish around mid to late April. So anytime it's dark. And it's probably our most searched on visitfinland.com. We write many articles about the Northern Lights. So Lapland's a great time to sort of come and spend time, around a campfire and eating. I have to mention the food, it is absolutely fantastic. I'm actually gluten-free, and it's the best gluten-free bread I've ever tasted. It seems a lot of people in Finland have got allergies. If you're a meat eater, you're in for a treat, and if you like fish. But if you're vegetarian, we've got some of the best vegetarian and vegan cooking in Europe, and some really great restaurants, especially in Helsinki. If you want some unique dining, we have a lot of our snow castles and snow hotels around the resort of Levi, and this is a really nice to eat out, obviously when you're wrapped up in all your clothes and thermal layering. The Sami people are very interesting. They're our last indigenous people here in Finland, and you can actually meet with them, feed the reindeer, learn about their nomadic way of life in the wilderness of Finland. Snowmobiling is probably one of our #1 activities that you can do. We also have electronic snowmobiles now, which are becoming very, very popular. So it's less sound and less drain on the environment. Obviously, reindeers and huskies, again, are a top attraction, and we do suggest that to all your customers, they must try and get a husky ride when they go out. Rovaniemi, you've seen from that video, it's won quite a lot of awards. It's right on the Arctic Circle. This is Santa's village. It's all tastefully done. If you've not been there, you must go. It's a fabulous place, and this is just to give you an idea of the Arctic Snow Hotel in Rovaniemi and what it looks like. They are also doing weddings, and you can get weddings from the UK as well. We've had quite a lot of Brits coming over to get married on a normal year. And the Arctic Treehouse, this is probably our most Instagrammed accommodation. And it won Best Luxury Forest Hotel a couple of times in a row, but it really is wonderful. I've actually stayed there, it's very comfortable. And they're building more, there's about 60 at the moment, but they're actually building new ones now. And this is Octola. This was built in 2018, it opened in 2019. But this is our 5-star resort, and that's got 10 rooms. It's very exclusive. So yeah, we're seeing a big uplift in kind of glamping in the wilderness, plenty of space here in Finland. And this is a sort of lead-in AURORA cabin. Usually they come with a sauna, because you've got to have a sauna when you're in, or sauna I should say, in Finland. And mostly the windows are heated, so that when you get a WhatsApp or alarm to notify you at night, you can see the northern lights from your window. So just on to Lakeland, just to give you an idea of some different ideas for Finland. The Lakeland is wonderful. It's just miles and miles of lakes and forest. It's really, really very expansive and beautiful. This is the city of Tampere. You can easily access Tampere by train. It's a 2-hour journey, or you can fly into Tampere from Helsinki. And from there, you can explore the forest. There's lots of hiking and biking, fishing. You can see the bears if you go east, and they have special bear watching platforms between May and September. And it's also a place for wellness, and we're finding everyone is loving the lake spa Järvisydän. It's got a really great spa, pools, wellness, and they're right by Lake Saimaa, which is famous for its elusive seal. I think it's about 450 there in the lake. This is the houseboat Jyväskylä. Again, these are great accommodations, and some giant bird houses. This is luxury accommodation for your customers that would really like to do bear watching, but they want something quite nice. And then the archipelago, this is on the west-hand side. Again, it's very, very much looking quite Swedish here, but Turku used to be the oldest city of Finland, and it's absolutely fantastic. And it's actually Swedish spoke there as well, and it's fast becoming a foodie destination. And Åland Islands, that's between Finland and Sweden. It's a 5-hour ferry boat transfer. And again, you can do all your usual things. This is an idea of some luxury accommodation there that you can stay in. And then Helsinki, it's changed in 10 years. There's lots of things to do. This is probably our most exciting saunas that you can actually go to. This one, the actor from the Vikings, he's made this one. So you can go in the sauna, you can sunbathe. They've got a restaurant and a DJ there in the summer. So it's very great. And this is Odie Library. There's lots of things to do and see in the city. And to stay, you've got the beautiful Camp Hotel, which is a leading hotel of the world. All the Radisson Blues here, they've all been upgraded by Sokos Hotels, who franchise them. Clarion, that's our big skyscraper with a rooftop bar. It's very nice. And something very boutiquey, we've got the Hotel St. George. Again, these hotels have just been in the last 2 years. And then last year, the Lapland hotels have Lapland Boulevardy. So each room is like a spa. And they've got a great Lappish restaurant downstairs. So you can have a taste of Lapland in Helsinki. That's the station, which is very famous. All the trains go on time. So you can explore, or you can hire a car from Helsinki, and that's very popular. Porvoo is where it's very popular for sightseeing. It's 1 hour outside. You can get a bus, or you can take a train there. And Nuusikko National Park is only 40 minutes away from Helsinki, so you can have a city and urban break. And this is this was built last year, the Hawks Hill Villas, so really fantastic accommodation. And we also have these new mirror houses, which are 1.5 hours from Helsinki. So we have a few accolades to our name, one being the world's happiest country 3 years in a row. Must be something to do with all the ice and dipping in there. And best winter destination, Lonely Planet last month, named Rovaniemi. We're also a sustainable travel destination, and all our information is found on visitfinland.com. And just some USPs about wide open spaces, clean air, clean water, authentic culture. So I'm sure lots of your customers will be interested to sell Finland. So I've got another 2 training courses you can log on to and try for free with OTT and Travel Uni. And we are hoping to start fam trips as soon as it's safe to do so, and groups will travel again. And then that's all our social media. So you can go on, we've got some beautiful images on our Instagram, our Finland, and Facebook, I wish I was in Finland.
Wonderful.
So, Kiitos and moikka, which means goodbye.
Okay, fantastic,
thank you and goodbye.
Okay, don't go. Thank you very much, and thank you for that. That was awesome. So as I said before, there's some fantastic images. We did have a slight glitch with regards to the video, so apologies for everyone. The sound wasn't on there. I'm sure Caroline will be delighted to send you the video for anyone who would like copies of that. So let me crack on with some wonderful questions for you. I've got lots of them. I'm gonna start, if I can do it, it's a bit random ways in which we get to these. So Gratia Caniglia has asked, how long is the Husky ride normally, and is there a minimum age for it?
Yes, well, it depends on the Husky firm. They do take children. I mean, not toddlers obviously, but children probably from the age of 6 upwards, and they have to sit with the parents. I mean, generally it's very cold, so you get all the protective gear when you try the Husky ride, and it's usually around 20-25 minutes for the Husky rides. And then most Husky places, they've got the reindeers as well, so you can try both experiences. So the whole experience probably takes about an hour.
Okay, this is again, we're sticking with a theme here. I do like the idea of getting a statement in rather than a question now as well. So Jill Liebers has stated, loved Finland, can't wait to go back. So you've got a satisfied customer already watching, which is great. Michael Atkins has got a couple of questions for you, Caroline. I know you've answered it in the sense that you've given a time span, but is there any specific month that you would say is the best in terms of seeing the Northern Light?
Oh, well, I was supposed to do a fam trip this September, and sadly it didn't go. And I was reliably informed around the 15th to 25th of September. That's one of the best times to go. But I've also been told that in March, there's a great storm, and lots of photographers just drop everything and fly out. and they go between Finland and Norway because apparently that's where the best northern lights are.
Again, I will add to that. I will add to that only because one of my clients who I've dealt with for a very long time, who's a company called Tabor Holidays, who Suzelle has said to me that March was particularly a good time. So I'll throw that in. That may not always apply to Finland. I know that more of her holidays are sold through Norway, but even so, I would imagine that, you know, not far wrong on that front. Okay, so we've also got from Michael as well. He asks, and again, I think this is a good one, in terms of people going to Lapland on a day trip, which I know sort of few and far between this time round because of COVID, obviously, but if you are going for a day trip, would you have to take a PCR?
Yes, and I think that's where, you know, all the holiday companies have had to make very difficult decisions this year with families and groups. So yeah, unfortunately, you will have to produce a PCR test.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's good. It's good to know. One of the things you mentioned in your presentation, this is a question for, I think I've got a number of people who've asked this, so I'm not going to name anyone specifically, but have you got anything that you said you were going to hopefully have done one in September, but have you got anything that you are planning, even if it's in sort of vague planning stages in terms of a fam trip next year?
Yes, so we are looking in the summer, hopefully around June. We're looking at the Lakeland and combining it. So we're going to look at do a bit more summer while we can, and then maybe look towards the end, sort of beginning of winter, for another fam trip.
Okay, well that's fantastic. I'm sure everyone will be on that if they can be. Can I again? This is Sarah Doherty's asked. Is there any sort of recourse if you go to see the Northern Lights and you don't see them?
No, it's the honest answer.
I had a feeling that might be the case.
It's a bit like seeing the tigers in India or the big five in Africa. I mean, obviously they will do everything. That's why we strongly suggest you take a tour. So you're there with even scientists and real geeks about Northern Lights, and they will know the best places to find them. But some companies, they do try and take you out a couple of, you know, they might cancel because of bad weather, and then you can try another day. So they're quite honest. They'll, you know, the Finnish say it like it is. So they will they will tell you, and perhaps you can try cancel it and do it the next night if there's very bad weather.
Okay. Cheryl Johnson asks, are there any Christmas markets in Helsinki?
Yes, there are, and we had as representatives around the world, we actually had Helsinki this week, and that was one of the questions I asked. Now, the markets are going to be very low key this year, but normally there's a massive one in Senate Square in Helsinki in front of the cathedral, and there's also one I showed you an hour outside in Porvoo. You can get a bus there, and they have Christmas markets as well.
Okay, this is a really specific one, which I really like actually, because it gives people an idea for sort of compare and contrast. So Kathleen Hutspit, apologies Kathleen if I've pronounced your name incorrectly, but she asks, what would the general cost of a 3-course meal without alcohol be, and why you would have a 3-course meal without alcohol, I don't know. But anyway, if you were to do that, what would the cost be, and is alcohol as expensive as we're led to believe?
Yes, well, yeah, it would be like London prices. You know, if you're going to go out and eat in a restaurant in London, it's not as expensive as Norway. That's what I've been told, and I've been to both Norway and Sweden. I'd say it's more in a comparison with Sweden, and that's why we're doing the luxury side, so that they've got more spending power. However, the drinks are very expensive because they're highly taxed by the government, because there used to be a lot of drinking problem in Finland and other Nordic countries, so they tax the alcohol, and it's mainly the liquor. So if you can stick to beer, the beer is fantastic, and there's lots of micro breweries popping up in Finland. So yeah, stick to the beer rather than go for the hard liquor. And the wines, yeah, they are quite expensive, I have to say.
My guess is a lot of the wine is imported, therefore, and that's why you pay for it through the tax.
Yeah, but if you stick with beer or local liquor, it's not
if you anyone who hasn't heard it here first, Caroline is the biggest proponent of Finnish beer. Stick with the beer, and that's the way forward.
Yeah. or buy your alcohol when you come in. Or go to Estonia. They go to Estonia and grab the.
Okay, so now we're starting to look at 2 center options. So can I ask you? I've got a one here which is interesting as well from Liz King. Can you recommend a 5-star romantic break for 2 for just 4 nights? Sort of early September time. Where would you recommend? Do you recommend people always visit Helsinki?
No, I think September. If you're September, you can go to Lapland, because that's where you've got, I showed the autumn, the start of the Northern Lights, and the Northern Lights, you can't get any more romantic. And I showed you those wonderful tree houses, so you can stay there. And actually, it's much better price than it is in December. Yeah, and they have their own restaurant as well. And then you've got the whole city of Rovaniemi. So that would be good.
Okay, well that ticks lots of boxes. I'm sorry, but we are really out of time. We've covered lots of things, I hope, in terms of what you'd like to answer. I know a number of people have asked for your presentation, Caroline, so I'm sure we can pass those details on to you as to who we need back. I'm going to remind everyone again, competition is via our website, so it's travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. So I'm now going to ask Caroline to give us details of both her prize and also give us details of the question.
Yes, so our prize today is some shopping vouchers that we will send. They're digital. You can redeem them in any high street store. And the question today is approximately how many lakes are there in Finland? Okay,
it's how many lakes are there in Finland, and you can you do it via the Travel Bulletin website. Now, at this point, I'm going to ask everyone else if they would like to rejoin us. If you're still there, if you've gone, then I fully understand. If you haven't gone and would like to read, there we are. You see, we're coming back. We're coming back. And the reason are you there, Tommy? Is there? Fantastic. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I just wanted to wind this up with thanks to everyone. I'm sure all of the people who are with us today are really, I'm sure you've learned an awful lot about the different destinations, and most importantly, different things that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of. I mean, I really appreciate everyone giving us lots of information as they've gone through the presentations, but also answering all the questions, because some of them have been particularly detailed and have asked for very specific information. So thank you so much. I'd like you to all say thank you to, well, I'd like to say thank you to all of you and to say goodbye to everyone. Can you wave goodbye to everyone, please?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all for coming. Hopefully we'll see you next week at our next webinar. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.